Admiral Kexthal adjusted his carapace armor as he reviewed the intelligence reports flooding his command console. The Terran Federation had finally been cornered after 3 years of what the Galactic Coalition deemed a police action. According to every military analysis, humans were spectacularly inept at warfare. The evidence seemed overwhelming. Humanity's first contact with the galaxy had occurred through a mining dispute on Kepler 442b, where human colonists had accidentally triggered a territorial conflict with the Zenthari Empire. The humans had immediately surrendered, offering compensation and relocation. When the hegemony of Voss later claimed 3 human agricultural worlds, Earth's government had simply abandoned them rather than fight. Cowards. Kexthal's tactical officer, Lieutenant Mordak, had declared. Their military doctrine prioritizes retreat over engagement. They lack the warrior spirit entirely. The coalition's xenobiologists had published extensive studies confirming humanity's martial inadequacy. Humans possessed inferior physical strength compared to the Vorthak, slower reflexes than the Skitarii, and their brain chemistry showed elevated stress responses during combat scenarios. Most damning of all, human military history revealed a species that consistently sought negotiation over conflict, even when victory seemed assured. Commander Elena Vasquez monitored the coalition fleet's approach from the bridge of the UES Defiance, humanity's last functioning dreadnought. Around her, the surviving officers of the Terran Defense Force maintained their positions with grim determination. They had allowed the galaxy to believe in human weakness for 3 years, carefully orchestrating each defeat to appear genuine. The truth was far more complex. Humans weren't bad at war, they were terrifyingly efficient at it. Earth's history contained millennia of increasingly sophisticated conflict, from Bronze Age skirmishes to weapons capable of cracking planets. But humanity had learned something the galaxy hadn't: the true cost of total war. "Admiral, they're demanding our surrender," reported Communications Officer James Park. "Standard coalition terms: complete disarmament and species-wide conscription into their labor divisions." Vasquez nodded grimly. The coalition had shown their hand. This wasn't about justice or territorial disputes. It was about enslaving humanity. Every reasonable surrender, every strategic withdrawal, every diplomatic concession had been designed to lull the galaxy into overconfidence while human engineers worked frantically in hidden shipyards. The coalition fleet consisted of 12,000 vessels representing 47 species, each convinced of their superiority. They approached Earth in tight formations, their shield harmonics synchronized according to textbook doctrine. Against any conventional force, they would be unstoppable. But humans had spent 3 years studying coalition tactics, technology, and psychology. They knew exactly how their enemies thought, how they fought, and most importantly, how they expected humans to fight. "Initiate Protocol Prometheus," Vasquez ordered. Across the solar system, seemingly abandoned human installations came online simultaneously. Jupiter's moons revealed themselves as massive railgun platforms. The asteroid belt erupted with swarms of self-replicating drone fighters. Mars unveiled orbital defense grids that had been disguised as mining operations. The coalition's first indication of their miscalculation came when their lead battleships simply disappeared. No explosions, no debris fields, just empty space where their flagship had been microseconds before. Human kinetic weapons, accelerated to significant fractions of light speed, were effectively invisible until impact. Admiral Kexthal watched in horror as his formation disintegrated around him. The humans weren't fighting like any species he'd encountered. There were no honor duels, no formation battles, no adherence to galactic warfare conventions. This was systematic annihilation conducted with mathematical precision. "Sir, they're broadcasting on all frequencies," Mordak reported, his voice trembling. Commander Vasquez's image appeared on screens throughout the coalition fleet. "You assumed human reluctance to fight meant inability to fight. You were wrong. We've studied every military action in recorded galactic history. We know how each of your species thinks, reacts, and breaks under pressure. You came here to enslave us, but you've given us detailed intelligence on 47 potential threats to human survival." The remaining coalition ships watched helplessly as Earth's moons split apart, revealing the massive barrel of a stellar engineering cannon. Humanity's final revelation that they had been preparing not just for this battle, but for the inevitable galactic war that would follow. The galaxy had indeed learned about human warfare the hard way. They discovered that a species genuinely good at war avoids it at all costs, because they understand exactly what they're capable of unleashing.